Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I have with me here the Pen Rival 15. I've done a review on this along with the Spooling Crazy Tornado 3-piece rod. If you haven't seen that video as yet, please, link in the description, feel free to check it out. So today we're actually gonna spool this up. We're gonna add some braided line to it. You can also add monofilament, but today we're gonna use casking superpower braided line, and this is 50 pound test. Set this here for a little bit, and I really hope you guys can see the line. This is the abrasion resistance, so it would take a while for this to actually rub against rock and cut, but enough about that. I'm just gonna actually show you guys how I go about and spool up my reels. So first and foremost, if your reel comes with a line guide or without a line guide, it's not really a big deal. But if yours do come with a line guide, first you want to get this through the line guide. So you get it through. Let me flip it on the other side so you can see. Okay, right. So now that it's through, I already got it through the line guide. Then you're gonna take this end and you're gonna make like a little hook shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. And what you're going to do is you're gonna pass it around the spool. All right, grab on that other end so you can see it's around the spool. Then you're gonna want to make a uni knot. If you don't know how to make a uni knot, you're gonna actually see me do that later on in this video, so keep watching to see how to make a uni knot. But it basically goes like this. I don't know how well you can pick up on what I'm doing, but I'll explain this in the video later on, so stay tuned and you will see how to make a uni knot. You will see how to join braid to braid or braid to monofilament. So I made a nice little knot, and you're gonna take your scissors or your knife. I'm just gonna use a scissors, and you're gonna cut it. All right, and then you're gonna slide this to the floated area or the groove area, which is right around there. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered. That prevents the line from slipping while you're winding it. And this reel actually have some cool features, so if you want to know more about this reel, link in the description about it. I'm gonna actually get this onto this, so pay close attention to what I'm doing. This is just my method. There are probably better methods out there, but this works just as fine. So set this right here so you can see. Let's say you're out at the beach or at the surf or on the boat or something, and you want to spool up your line real quick. So here's what I do. You can get a rag or a piece of, or even your t-shirt, and just hold against this line, but I prefer to use my fingers. They work well either way, and you're just gonna keep rolling, right? And you can see I am still adding pressure to this, and it's gonna roll right off. So I'm gonna continue do this until it is about this full. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day it is still gonna get really tight after a few casts in and out, so it doesn't matter. Here I forgot to mention, I don't know if I mentioned this in the review, but these lines that you see on the inside, they give you an idea of how much line you have remained in while you're out. I filled it way past the mark because this is a little bit slack. Not too slack, it would work, but after a few casts it is gonna get compact and you don't have to worry about all of that anymore. So now that it's all full, I'm gonna cut this and show you guys how I go about tying mono to braided line using the uni knot method. Set this aside, and you're gonna want to leave out a bit of line. So here you can see I have the braided line. Now I need the mono filament. Let me just get some mono. Okay, so we have the mono and it is not straight, so but for the purpose of this video, imagine it was straight like the line. So both of them are gonna go parallel to each other, right? Then you're gonna take, it doesn't matter which one you take first, then you're gonna take one and you're gonna make a loop like this, so it still stays basically parallel with each other. Then you're gonna wanna take this end and go around the loop, and you can do this several times. It doesn't really matter how much times you do it, it all depends on the thickness of the line. So the finer the line, the more you can do it. The thicker the line, the less you can do it. So do that several times, then you're going to pull on it, and what that does, it creates a little notch. You can see it creates a little notch, and that is actually a good thing. So the braid, it's already tied. Now it's time to do the mono. So same method, you grab on this end of the mono, make a loop, you make a loop like that, and you got to go around both of them. So 1, 2, 3, and you're doing this around both lines, both the mono and the braided line. Then you're gonna pull on it, pull on the mono. You don't want to pull this one too tight as yet. Then you're gonna wanna slide it in, and both of them come together. Now you can pull this one tight, or you could even just pull on both of them and they would fasten to each other. So now you have this little notch. It won't be a problem when it comes to casting, and you're gonna want to cut it. You don't have to cut it too short, but you're gonna cut the end of the mono and the end of the braid. So basically you end up with something looking like this. I don't know how well you can see it, but you end up with something looking like that, and it is extremely strong. So here you have a basic mono to braid tie using the uni knot method. I'm gonna also show you how to do a braid to braid tie. So let me just get this cut off and show you guys that. So you no longer need the mono unless you're gonna do a mono to braid tie. But let's say for instance that I have this 50-pound test and I also have 40-pound test. Both of them are basically the same color, but one is just a little bit thicker than the other. You can see this is the 40 and this is the 50. So same method again, lay them parallel to each other. And I think with this one you would see how I go about doing it way easier. And I'm just gonna give you the basic of what's happening. So you're looking something like that. Then you're gonna take both ends. This is gonna still go in that direction, and you're gonna take this end and wrap it around. So it goes around and around and around. And again, like I told you, you can do this as many times as you want. There's no special number. And then you pull on it, and you see. Then you do the same for this side too. Make the loop. Make sure you have both of them. Make the loop, and then you go around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna do 6 for this side, and then you pull on it. Now watch the magic. Both of them, they're gonna meet at a point where they can't go no more, and you're just gonna pull on it. Pull on it. Try not to cut your fingers, like this will cut your finger. And you take your scissors and you clip the ends on that end and this end. Here you have it, braid to braid, using the uni knot method, and it is extremely strong. So this would cast without causing any problems. I'm gonna show you guys one more thing before we actually leave here, and that is how I go about putting my hooks onto my leader, which is this monofilament. I use braided line as my main line and monofilament as my leader. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna show you how that is done, and it is really simple, but I'm just gonna do one hook. Basically what I do is a high-low rig, like one hook here, and another one there. So like one is above one, so that is why it is called a high-low rig. Some people say a chicken rig, but whichever way sounds better for you, but I say a high-low rig. And you can add as many hooks as you want on the high-low rig. So I'm going to show you how I actually do that. So again, the review on this Pen Rival 15 LW, link in the description. Please feel free to check it out. So here you can see I have monofilament. I don't know how well you can see it. It's like 20-pound test monofilament, and I am looking for my hooks. I can't find the hooks that I actually want to use and show you guys, but it would work either way with any hook. So I have these Eagle Claw. These are size 2, I think. Yeah, size 2 hooks, and I'm gonna show you real quick how I actually go about and adding hooks to my leader line. And set these 2 hooks aside, and you would actually want to use whatever hook that you're comfortable using, but I'm just using this for demonstration purpose. So here you can see I have the leader line, and some people would just go right ahead and just tie it, but I like to spice it up a little bit. So this one, you gotta make sure your fingers are dry, or you can have grip on the line, so it could spin like this. And what you want to do now is twirl it. It's gonna end up looking something like this, right? And you're gonna still twirl it. So here you can see this comes as one line. Now you're gonna use the same uni knot method, but only this time you're gonna tie a single uni knot. So you're gonna go around and you're gonna get it through, and you can do this 2 times, 3 times. I like to do it 2 times because it gives a better look to it. You'll see what I'm talking about. And here you can see it gives a smoother look to it. Then you have your first hook or hook tie. Then you're gonna measure probably the length and a half. So the hook will fall right around there, and then you're gonna measure probably a half or 2 times the amount, and you're gonna do the same thing again, right? So you're gonna do the same thing again, and you're gonna just hold this end and that other end and swirl it. All right, and you're gonna clear it as it swirl. Do it a bit more, swirl again, and a bit more. Right, then you repeat the same single uni knot process, a loop, as you can see, and you're gonna go around inside the loop, around inside the loop 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. It really doesn't matter. And if you're like me and you want both of them to be the same length, you're gonna have to fiddle with it to find the length that you need. So here you can see I have both of them roughly around the same length. It just comes with practice. So I have the high-low chicken rig, I guess. Then you're gonna flatten this end, get it through the eye of the hook. It really doesn't matter which direction you go from, and over the point. Right, so it's around the shank of the hook and back. That's one down. You repeat the same process through the eye of the hook, through that little loop, and back down. And here you have it, a high-low or chicken rig. Then you can add, whether you want to add a snap swivel, or you just tie directly to your lead, or like me, you tie directly to your coral, because I use a lot of coral for sinkers rather than lead due to the rocky structures that I fish. I get snag a lot, so I use coral instead of lead. But you can actually use a lead. I have no idea what you call a lead like this, but it shapes like a torpedo, and you can tie it directly to it, so you would have a sinker to it. This works good if you're gonna fish at the soft, like where there is sand only and not stone or rocks, and this would work great. This method will work great. If not, just find something that works for you. And you can see I have the lead. It comes up to a hook, then comes up to another hook. So that is it right there, guys. That is just my whole setup. And this end ties to a swivel, a snap swivel, or just a regular swivel, and connected to your main line by another swivel. It all depends on what works for you. So I want to thank you guys for watching Do It Prove It. I really hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. If you have been enjoying the video so far, please like, subscribe, and you can even share with a friend. And I'll see you guys in the next video.